to today's Twinkl Live, all about maths and money, and it is our final Maths Money Live. And this one is for parents of 9 to 11-year-olds. So that's if your child is in year 5 and year 6. So when your child reaches year 5 and year 6, most of the things that they have learnt about money would have already been learnt and established for the very first time. So they'll just be building on all of the skills and sprinkling in a little new extra bits like percentages, which I'll cover later on. So it builds on their money knowledge when they're in upper key stage 2, and will prepare your child for key stage 3 maths and money, and also life beyond. So exposing your child to budgeting and financial mathematics is a great place to start to get your child familiar with money and how they can manage their money in the future. So your child should begin to understand the concept of money and its values to be able to budget correctly. So within this, your child will begin to delve into percentages of money, be given worded problems to utilise their problem-solving skills, and will be expected to understand the role of the decimal notation, which I spoke about in Wednesday's live. So if you did want to have a look at Wednesday's live, you can go back and have a little look. So how can you expand on your child's knowledge of money? So in year 5 and 6, they'll begin to think about finding the difference. So they might then have a go at giving a percentage. So your child may be asked to find the percentage of money, and your child will be able to spot a percentage easily as they can see the percentage sign. So they should have learnt about percentages in year 4, and perhaps you could begin by asking your child to work out simple percentages of some coins or some notes. So for example, you could present your child with a £1 coin in two 50p pieces and ask your child to find 50% of £1 by removing one of the 50p coins. Then, to make the questions harder, you could increase the value or change the percentage that you ask your child to work out. Your child will come across word problems around money when they get to year 5 and 6. So a way in which that you can increase your child's ability in solving word problems is to challenge them by asking them multi-step questions. So if you have, or if you're going to have a little read of our step-by-step money guide for parents, you'll be able to see this is the final step. And we also have some challenge cards which I can share with you now. So if I just share these challenge cards, this is all about investigating money, and so there's lots of different multi-step questions. So multi-step questions means there's more than one step. And this is something that lots of children, especially in the primary age, can get a little bit tripped up on, because once they get stuck on one part of the question, if they've got it a little bit wrong somehow, then the next part is then going to be affected by it. So it's really learning the skill of breaking down the question, underlining or highlighting each part of the question, and working out each step and taking your time for each step. So you can also find the link in the comments if you wanted to have a look at these challenge cards. So you can also have a go at making your own. So you could do something similar to one of the challenge cards, like using 3 of the coins each time. How many different amounts can you make? And then you could even add some more steps to that. So then you could say, you have 2 coins, but your brother, for example, has 1 coin, and add in different steps to the questions. So another example that I can give of a multi-step word problem for year 5 and 6 is this one, for example. So you could say, Alex received £29.50 for his birthday. He spent £8.99 on a book and £7.50 on a computer game. So you've got the total, how much he had, how much money he received, he spent it on 2 different things, and then show 3 different calculations you can use to work out how much money he has left. So this sort of question involves addition, subtraction, and allows your child to find multiple solutions, all of which they can then justify and reason for after. So you could say, oh, why have you worked it out like that? Or how have you got this answer? And how your child responds can then really give you a good indication of how strong they are with money and multi-step problems, and then gives you an idea of what sort of questions you can look out for and pick off the challenge cards, for example. And in year 5 and 6, once they've learned about money, budgeting becomes a focus. So you can involve your child in spending decisions if you want to with your family, involve them in buying a new blender, for example, or a new sofa, and then ask your child to make real life spending and saving decisions, even if they aren't purchasing large value items, giving them the responsibility of being able to make these decisions and seeing the total cost of things and comparing items is a really great way to make your child aware of how much things cost and what budgeting is, and they could even budget their own pocket money. And if they're saving for something, you can then involve them in the conversations of things you're budgeting for in your own household if you want to. You can also include your child in budgeting for the food shop, discussing and debating what should be spent on fresh and frozen food, for example, how much should be spent on sweet treats, and so on. And then this allows your child to go to the shop or place an order to ensure that they are learning firsthand about budgeting. And then you could also link in percentages this way and ask them to say the total you've spent on the food shop is this amount. How much of a percentage did you spend on frozen food? Your child can then add up all of the frozen food and then work out what percentage of the food shop was spent on that. And you can discuss pros and cons of different ways of paying and spending and comparing using different payment methods. So during the process, you could ask your child the percentage, like I just said, and then you can show them the running costs of a home if you'd like to, and make them aware of different costs that they might not be aware of, and allow them to manage the household budget with you if you think that they're ready for that. Or you could give them something to manage, then maybe they will think of a way where money can be saved if you're involving them with that. There is also lots that you can do with your child when it comes to managing their own money. So if you're debating giving your child pocket money for the very first time, or if you have been giving your child pocket money, there are lots of ways that you can help them manage their pocket money. You can ask your child to earn the pocket money and set tasks. If you are going to do this, we have a really handy guide of a chart that you could use and gives examples of what things that your child could do in the house. So for example, if I just show you, this is age appropriate for 9 to 11-year-olds. However, there are ones on our website for 5 to 7-year-olds and 7 to 9-year-olds, for example. So these are just the example for 9 to 11-year-olds. They could help wash the car or fold clean clothes, and then they can use the tabs to add onto their own chart, where we've got a chart to print off, or you could make one for yourself. So there's lots of ways you can involve them in setting their own tasks in the house and earning money that way. You can introduce budgeting to your child by making them aware of money you spend, like I've just mentioned. And you could see if your child wants to have their own responsibilities for saving their money. We have a really useful Helping Children Manage Pocket Money guide, which is for you parents to have a little read if you wanted to get any ideas on how to help your child manage pocket money. So that is all for today and this week on everything to do with money in primary age children. Next week we will be back on Monday and Wednesday, and I will be doing a live all about all things computing. So Monday will be for Key Stage 1, aged children, and Wednesday will be the Key Stage 2 aged children, all things that they learn in computing and activities you can do at home to do with computing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Thank you. Why do we always need to press?